Today, we're going to talk about why learning some simple skills of copywriting is one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself. In this video, I'm going to explain why developing your copywriting skills is the pathway to mastering effective communication and the art of persuasion. Now, regardless of what it is that you want to do or become in this world, I assure you that when you implement this stuff, there is nothing other that will have as big an impact on your ability to achieve your goals. When you are building your career or business, effective communication and the art of persuasion is paramount to your success. When it comes to building a process for generating leads, booking consultations, converting sales, and generating income, mastering effective communication and the art of persuasion can be one of the more challenging things. But it is much more important than some of the other technical stuff that you need to learn. What you are about to learn and discover will become your business's superpower. Now, most people who come into the health and fitness industry are doing so as a new thing. They're coming into it from other industries or career paths. And they're doing it because they want a sense of freedom. They want a sense of control. And they want to help save others and get paid for it. Most are coming from a space that is familiar with the skills of copywriting and attraction marketing, but they don't really understand it that much. So by giving you this information, you're going to have an advantage over most of your competition and most of the people that you're working against in this business world. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the topic. I'm going to give you a free worksheet with some simple steps to help you get started. I like to call copywriting salesmanship in print. The principles of salesmanship in print that I'm going to touch on have been around since sales began, and they will stay the same regardless of what changes occur in marketing mediums like social media platforms and all the other places that you can be seen and heard. So giving you these principles means you will have a superpower that no one can take away from you. Okay, what are we trying to achieve with authentic, ethical, well-scripted and well-designed copy is simply to influence our audience and then inspire an action. When you convert your traditional thinking of advertising and reframe it as the idea of being a salesperson in print, where you discover what the best course of action for your prospect is, the whole copywriting thing becomes a lot less intimidating. So let's have a look at the key factors you need to consider regardless of the medium you'll be using your copy in. And when you see how simple these really are, you will see why this is achievable by anyone. You really don't need a master's degree in English or to be a marketing expert to be good at copywriting. Just start with these simple principles. Now, the principles are, number one is to understand why people buy and why they don't. Number two is never try to sell the unsellable. The third principle is to understand where the message is in relationship to your audience. The fourth is to target. And what I mean by target is to target your copy aimed at the 4th to 6th grade level. And I'll explain a bit more about that later. So let's have a look at each of these. The first is to understand why people buy and why they don't. If a person believes a purchase will solve a problem or meet a need they have, and the price is less valuable than the result they're getting, they will buy. However, if one or more of these things is not true, they won't buy. Principle number 2 is don't sell the unsellable. It's much more profitable to find more buyers than to spend time trying to convert no buyers. If someone says no, move on. If someone ignores you, move on. If, on the other hand, someone says maybe, move in. Now, principle number 3 is to understand where the message is in relationship to your audience. You need to look at the types of platforms you use to promote yourself and then try and match those platforms. So, for example, Facebook is designed to connect you with your friends. It's there to spy on family and workmates. It's for groups you're part of, and it's to connect with communities that you've created. And this is really important to understand because when you write copy, you're putting it in front of people who are on this platform to catch up with friends or distract themselves from work. Now, each medium and platform obviously has individual characteristics and elements that are different from the other. So we need to treat them in different ways when it comes to articulating our message. Now, the next one is a bit hard to get your head around, but it is absolutely true. And it's a reason why anyone can write copy that converts. It is a scientific fact that the average Western English speaking person communicates easiest between the 4th and 6th grade reading level. True. Now, this absolutely does not mean that they're not educated or stupid. Communication at this level makes it easy to understand without a lot of mental effort. It's our brain's default position when it comes to communication. It's the path of least resistance, which is really beneficial for you as a copywriter because you don't want your audience to have to work hard to understand your message. People are not going to pay attention to your message if they can't easily understand it or have to work hard to understand it. Copywriting should be nothing more than communicating with people in the simplest possible way. Anyone can be a copywriter because anyone who passed the 4th or 6th grade can communicate with another human being at that level. It's the simple street language that makes you trust people. It's the ums, the ahs, maybe a grammar mistake. Because keeping it simple and keeping it real, that's what matters most. Now, the last principle is to listen to understand. The key to becoming a great communicator and an awesome salesperson is to listen 80% of the time. It literally means asking questions and then shutting up and listening to the answers. Then ask more questions to get your prospect to respond and go deeper into what they're talking about. Now, obviously, copywriting, it's in print and you can't go back and forth with your prospect as you would if you were talking directly with them. But what you can do is invest your time doing your research and listening to your audience before you start writing, because you want your copy to respond to the conversations your audience is having in their own mind and with the people around them. You need to respond as if you've been listening for a long time. So do your research. Let's wrap this up. The first thing you want to do is create copy and content that is designed to get an outcome from your audience. And to achieve this, we need to follow simple, clear, proven principles. Do your research, listen to your audience, keep the copy simple, and repeat this over and over again, and you'll master your superpower. Now, wherever you are watching, reading or listening to this, I sincerely hope I've helped you in some small way. And don't hesitate to reach out to me or my amazing team if and when you need us. The world needs inspirational individuals like you and I. Please help me change the world in a positive way by following me on social. You can find me on Instagram at coach_Grazy. That's coach_Grazy. I'm Coach Grazy, and I look forward to chatting with you again next week.